Hey guys, just a quick video. I wanted to do a VR to Sportive Tarot's hashtag 25, I don't know what that was. We'll just go with the dorkiness because I am not going to be editing this one. I'm just going to get it up. 25 wacky questions tag, which I think will be a bit of fun. So, I will just jump right into it so I don't ramble too much. So, question 1 is, what is something you hate but wish you loved? Okay, I have a very easy answer to this one. This is something I've always been really ashamed of, and everybody is always like, oh my god, how can you? But I really hate the vast majority of vegetables, and I hate that I hate them, so I wish I loved them because they look fucking delicious and I despise most of them. I think I have a theory that I might be one of those super taster things, but I've literally never had it diagnosed or tested myself, so we'll just leave it at that, and I do my best to eat what I can. Healthy wise, not not eating the whole kitchen. My diet's bad, it's not that bad. Okay, question 2, what is your favourite flavour of ice cream? Okay, I am a very big lover of Ben & Jerry's, and I think chocolate fudge brownie is probably my favourite. I always loved, they did the chocolate fudge brownie and cookie dough half and half, and that was always good. There's a few different ones. If I was, I know, chocolate mint chocolate, anything mint chocolate. I love it. Yes, that's my answer. Question 3, which celebrity chef would you most like to make you dinner? When I first heard this question, I was just sort of like, I don't watch any celebrity chefs, and then I think I've come to the conclusion Ken Hom. My mum used to have a load of his books, and I love Chinese food. So, Ken Hom. Everything he makes looks delicious. Okay, book 4. Spoilers for the next question. Question 4. What's your favourite childhood book? I used to read a lot of point horrors and Goosebumps. I think point horrors were my favourites. What else though? I do remember reading The Magic Faraway Tree by Enid Blyton and loving that. Harry Potter, I suppose, yeah. I read that when I was about 14, so I never really think of that as a childhood book because I was a teenager, but that counts. I also read a lot of Buffy books. We'll go with Harry Potter because I still love Harry Potter. Question 5. Are you a morning person or a night owl? I wish I was a morning person, but I'm very much a night owl, as you might have noticed if you watched my bullet journal video. Because, yeah, I'm going to sleep in the wee hours and waking up sometime in the late morning. But every time I have been up in the early morning, I absolutely love that time. But I end up falling asleep by about 3 in the afternoon, so night owl. Question 6. If everything in your house had to be just one colour, what colour would you choose? Probably cream. Generally, in the flats we've lived in, everything has been white, basically, with obviously, furniture is... I don't know what's going on with my hair, by the way, just ignore it. Furniture, you get brown and red and stuff, but the walls and the doors and the frames, they're always white and it's boring, but at least with cream, you've got the neutral tone for everything else, but it's a little bit warmer than white. I find white such a cold colour when it's everything. I prefer it as an accent. So cream, we'll say. 7. What is your favourite day of the week? Friday. I love Friday. Currently, that is the start of my weekend, and even when you're doing Monday to Friday, you still have that whole feeling of like, yay, it's the weekend now once you finish whatever you're doing. So, Friday. 8. Can you whistle? 9. If you had to choose one cartoon character to be your best friend, what character would you choose? I'm inclined to say Jake the dog from Adventure Time because we've been watching it lately, and he's kind of fun, but he's also a little bit wacky, so might drive me crazy. We also just watched Steven Universe, and I think, I love them all so much. Maybe Steven in general, because he just believes in everybody, and he would be cool. Or maybe Winnie the Pooh, because he's so cuddly and loving. Though Eel is my favourite, but I'd like somebody who could lift me up rather than, Eel. Number 10. Do you believe in ghosts, and would you ever go ghost hunting? Okay. Funnily enough, this one's complex because I absolutely adore the paranormal. I adore anything related to ghosts. I don't really watch ghost hunting shows, but I do like watching YouTubers doing ghost hunting as long as they're being respectful. The moment they start insulting spirits and things, and I just switch off because it's distasteful and disrespectful. I don't like it, but I do believe in ghosts. I think I spent a long time just not, because I had a few years where I just decided I didn't believe in much. I was agnostic, but I think I believe there's something, but I don't know what form it takes, because I think I'm at this point where it's like I believe in reincarnation, and when I think of that, it comes down to, if you're being reincarnated, why would your spirit stay on, right? And then I've got to think about like ancestors and stuff, and how ancestors, reincarnation, ghosts, and like the underworld and all these different things, how it ties in together and what I believe exists and doesn't. I mean, of course, it could just be that ghosts are the spirits of people who either haven't moved on yet because they weren't ready, or their death was such a sudden thing. I'm not sure, really. But I think I do believe in them in some respect. I just haven't quite got to the point where I know exactly how that is. But yes, I would go ghost hunting because it fascinates me, and I would love that. Love, 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 love. Also, living in Pembrokeshire in South Wales, there are so many cool places that would be really interesting to investigate. And I would love to go to the Ancient Ram Inn. Fucking love the Ancient Ram Inn. It's so interesting. Don't know what I believe there, but I'd love to go there anyway. Question 11. Which of the 7 dwarfs is most like you? Grumpy, happy, sleepy, bashful, dopey, sneezy, dog. I think all of us are all 7 of the 7 dwarves in some aspect. I mean, surely the 7 dwarves are archetypes of... No, I'm sleepy. I am always tired. If I don't get more than 8 hours sleep, I will probably start nodding off at my desk, and sometimes I only go 7 hours and I will be nodding off at my desk, and it's not a good look. So sleepy. Though I can be, sleepy. Question 12, and maybe next time I will not say in front of the question. What is one of your favourite smells? I have so many. Okay, I want to say Nag Champa every time I light a Nag Champa incense, or there's the rolled incense like the Nag Champa, but Stamford do it, and I don't think I have any left, but they did a sandalwood one. Oh my god, it was so nice. But when I went in the shop the other day, they didn't have it, and I was like, so I ended up getting dragon's blood instead. That's pretty nice too. I really love incense. Also sort of sandalwood, frankincense, Nag Champa, patchouli, anything in that sort of area. But then I also really love the smell of rain, especially in the summer when the ground's all dry. Oh, that ozone smell, so good. I will stick my head out the window and just sniff. Also books, love the smell of books. Any books, old books, new books, any books. No, I cannot not say in front of a question. 13. Would you rather be able to copy and paste in real life or undo in real life? So, some people have had some very deep answers to this question, and most people say undo from what I've seen. I'm going to say copy and paste, because if this is a case of either only you get this power or everybody gets the same power, then the undo thing wouldn't matter. Like, when people always say like, oh, oops, typo, I'm just sort of like, everybody types wrong sometimes, everybody makes mistakes, everybody, you know. So having undo, it's an interesting idea, but it doesn't change anything like right now. We'd still just be, oh, oops, typo, oh dear, sorry, I made a mistake. It's no big deal, really. So I'd say copy and paste, because especially for those days when you have no energy, you could just copy it from another day and paste, and I don't have much energy most of the time, so that would be a really, really nice feature of my life. 14. What's the best type of cheese? I want to say Cathedral City, which I believe is a kind of cheddar. It's a brand in the UK and it's so good. Generally I would just say cheddar, because it's just one of those like cheap, easy cheeses that is really good on cheese on toast. You can put it in chips, you can do anything with cheddar, really. So probably cheddar, but I do also really like brie and things like that. There was one cheese with like herbs and things in it, but I can't remember what it was, and it's from a deli that doesn't exist anymore. So we'll go cheddar. 15. If you had a warning label, what would yours say? I hadn't thought about this question, and it wouldn't be saying a lot. Probably will. See, it's toss up here. Would I warn against my tiredness or my mental illness, or would I just be like, sod it, I can just deal with it? I don't. Yeah, no, I'll say warning is probably tired. That's just my default answer to most things, so is probably tired. 16. What's the one food you could never bring yourself to eat? Anything alive? Uncooked? Like, I know there are delicacies and things in the world, and I'm not against it, but if you put a plate of something that's still wriggling in front of me, or barely dead, or, You know, if I could, let's say you put chicken in front of me and there's a head on it, I couldn't do it. I have to be able to disconnect the life from it. I know that probably sounds horrible to a lot of you, but especially with my answer to question 1 of my hatred for vegetables, it's just something I've had to do and try to be mindful. I don't like waste, and I try to get free range and things like that. It's just if I can connect it to like literally anything alive, like actually alive, or well, no, because I know there are things where you can get like tentacles that are still moving, and no. 17. If your 5-year-old self suddenly found themselves inhabiting your current body, what would your 5-year-old self do first? There are 2 things that I think. 1, head to the beach and build the biggest sandcastle ever, because I live in a seaside town and there's a beach like right over there. So probably that. Or notice all the witchcraft books on my shelf and be like, oh my god, witches are real, I can do magic. One of those things. I was a pretty adventurous little child, so something like that. 18. If you could, hang on, maybe if I highlight these questions I will stop saying all the time. If you could shop for free at one store, which one would you choose? Yeah, it's got to be Amazon. I did think, like, my first answer to this question was Asda, because you can get most things there. But the moment Amazon came up, I was like, yeah, okay, Amazon. 19. If you had a bottomless budget to build a fort, what would yours look like? I don't think we have enough time in the video to go into that, because I would get very creative. Very creative. I love the look of castles, but I would want it to have like modern heating so it didn't get too damp and it was nice and warm in the winter. Excuse me. And fairy lights everywhere. It would be very twinkly and magical and mystical. Lots of trees everywhere and just a very like fairy tale evocative sort of thing, and I would go nuts and it would be amazing. 20. What's your favourite kind of sandwich? Probably chicken tikka. You can get all sorts of different sandwiches from bakeries. They do like Cajun chicken, chicken tikka, things like that. And chicken tikka is usually pretty good. Or Chinese chicken. There was this one place back in Leicester that used to do sandwiches. I think it's closed down now, last time I checked. But they did Chinese chicken and hoisin duck, and they were the nicest things. But I think they closed down, and that is such a shame because they were, so good. But everyone was more interested in Subway and Greg's. And meh. 21. What is your favourite type of clothing? Well, I'm inclined to say pyjamas because if I'm at home, which I very often am, I want to be comfortable. But I actually do really enjoy, I want to say fashion, but it's not fashion. Not like the fast fashion and stuff. I enjoy sort of bohemian, gothy, 90s grunge, alternative, artsy, hippie, geeky. I have a very specific style when it comes to my clothes, and I've never quite been able to pinpoint a label for it. I tend to buy from the fast fashion places because sometimes you will find decent stuff there. but I will only get 1 or 2 things every now and then, and I've built a wardrobe up from there. I like to wear dresses with boots. I always wear flat shoes because my feet are bastards. I've got denim jackets and cardigans and things, and hoodies. It's so, I don't know. I'm very mixed. I like different things and I like to mix things up. 22. How do you feel about putting pineapple on pizza? I don't care. Just don't feed it to me. If somebody else enjoys putting pineapple on their pizza, more power to you. Just don't make me eat it. That's all I want in life. I don't want to eat the pineapple on the pizza. I'm also a bit frightened at how, like, heated that conversation got suddenly. Like, for years I was like, oh, why would you put pineapple on pizza? And then, like, the whole internet took this thing up, and it was like, oh, okay, do what you want. I don't actually care that much. 23. Do you sing in the shower? Yes, very loudly, probably very annoyingly. Is good. 24. Have you ever caught something on fire while you were cooking? Yes. I don't think I've ever set myself on fire. I've never set the kitchen on fire, but I've definitely managed to set food on fire. I managed to set a piece of spaghetti on fire the other day. That was an interesting experience. It didn't last long. I'm not that bad. I'm pretty safe. I'm just bad at cooking. 25. If you could have any mythical creature as a pet, what would it be? There are so many mythical creatures, and you're making me choose just one. I always say I love dragons, so I want to say dragons. I'm not sure how much I would want one as a pet, because they're dragons, but I love dragons. Maybe, like, a nice tame dragon that doesn't get too big or spit fire at me. I don't know. Anyway, that is all we got, so I will wrap that up there. Thank you very much for watching if you got this far. I'm sorry about all the ums and stuff. I just wanted to get this out and say hello again. Yep, I think that's all I got to say. I have got my recent video for my bullet journal where I talk about what I'm using my bullet journal for and what I'm sort of doing for October. So I will pop a link to that in the end card thingy, which I forgot to do on my last video. So I'll get that on there for you if you're interested in watching that. I am hoping to keep the videos going in a semi-regular sort of fashion, and so I would love it if you stuck around and said hello. I will follow most people. This account is specifically for sort of spiritual, witchy, tarot sorts of channels, so if you do have a channel, make sure to say hello in the comments and I will most likely follow back, as long as you're not an asshole, which if you're watching this you're probably not. Yeah, I think that's everything I've got to say. So, thank you for watching. Many blessings. Be kind. Bye.